Good evening, folks. Another episode of Beer Rating with Sean Connors. Once again, going to continue on with my beer roulette. Basically, I reach in, whatever I grab, that's what I do my review on. Only got a few left in the box. Smaller can. This is one of the ones that came from my beer club, and basically my beer club every month they send me a dozen beers, 6 different beers. So this was one of the ones from last month. Prince Eddie's Brewing Company out of Ontario. Amuse Bouche. It says saison DH with Pleasant Valley Cascade, 6.0% alcohol, can conditioned, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, feel free if I am getting this wrong, I think can conditioned, they add a little bit of yeast in the can when they can or bottle it, and that way it continues to ferment, I think. Alright, and with my beer club, I get a newsletter every month, tells me a little bit about each brewery and each beer. I've already read a little bit about Prince Edward Brewing Company. Basically, they're in Picton, Nova Scotia. It's a surf and skate decor. So they love to drink and share with like-minded individuals. Golden rule: work hard, play hard. As for the beer itself, it says amuse your bouche. I want to say bouche is mouth, but I'm not quite sure in French. It says amuse your bouche with bursts of tropical fruit with this dry hop saison. Bask your taste buds in sensation surplus of lemon, pineapple, and stone fruit, with a light toss of spice and a delicate whisper of acidity. Stone fruit? Not quite sure. Alright, so I'll zoom in so you can see the can. A little bit of graphics on, nothing too much. The smaller can. Seems likely the tall boy seem to be the go-to can for most craft breweries. But this is the smaller one. Alright, so we'll pour it up, have a sniff or two, have a taste or two, and then I'll give my ratings. My ratings are just that, they're my ratings. There's no science behind it. Just I either like it or I don't. And this one actually, I'm getting a whiff already, just from opening it. I'm getting definitely the hops. I think they said dry hopped. Dry hop. Definitely getting the smell of hops and also a little bit of citrus, which to me almost seems like a little bit of grapefruit. Quite a bit of head here. I don't know if that's from being can conditioned or not. Can conditioned, obviously I would assume if it's like I said, a little bit of yeast is added, then the yeast will continue to do what it does, and I would assume that would also increase the carbon dioxide being produced. I'm just thinking this off the top of my head, I could be wrong. So that could be the reason for the substantial foam, or it could be just I did a shitty pour, either or. I'm not really going to taste until she settles down a bit, but I will have a couple of whiffs. Definitely a quite a bit hoppy from the dry hops. Actually surprised because I thought saison was normally a lower alcohol content. I'm just going to see if I can get a definition of saison from one of my handy dandy beer books. Oh no, I was thinking of session beer. This is basically a saison. So my beer Bible, well, letting that sit for a second. Now it's going to give me quite a bit. A saison basically means season in French, and it gives me a full page more or less. I'm just going to skim through it. 5.8% alcohol. So it's pretty well in there. I was thinking of session beers. It says saison ales can be traced at farmhouse breweries located primarily in a French-speaking area of Belgium known as Wallonia. According to legend, these brews were the drink of the saisonniers, migrant workers that came to help the harvest. As was common practice in the days before artificial refrigerations, beginners would brew beer seasonally. From late fall to the beginning of spring, the weather was cool and more favorable for controlled fermentation. In farmhouse breweries, this was also a time of year when there was less work to do outdoors. Farmers would spend the cooler months building up a stock of provision beer to drink during this entire year, particularly this summer season. Alright, so once again, I just took a little sip of just the foam, and it's definitely hoppy. The question for me would be, is it going to be too hoppy for me to enjoy or not? And I've said it before, and actually this is actually quite cloudy, which is normal for conditioned beer. I've said it before, I'm not a big hoppy beer fan, but I find in the last probably year or so, I guess my beer palate has refined a bit. I actually do enjoy the hoppy beers. I don't love them by any means, but I can drink them. Hey. That's different. The first sip, I'm not getting as much hoppiness as I expected from what I got from the aroma. Interesting. I'm definitely getting a hint of something citrusy. I want to say grapefruit. They say lemon, pineapple, and stone fruit. And spice and delicate whisper of acidity. I don't know why I'm getting grapefruit out of it. Actually, even the aroma, I think it's slightly changed. It's almost like most of the hoppiness is disappeared. I'm not quite sure what to make of that, to tell you the truth. It's not that I don't like it. There's just something about it. I can't figure out exactly what it is. And I'm totally confused of what I'm going to give it a rating. I know I don't love it, but I know I don't hate it either. My ratings are always out of 5. A 5 would be the best beer I've ever had. A 1 would be, I'm not even going to drink it. I'm literally going to pour it down the drain. A 2 would be along the lines of, yeah, I'm not a fan, but I'll finish it just because I don't want to waste my beer. With a 3 being a good beer and a 4 being a very good beer. And I don't think this one is a 4 for me. I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of 2.5 to 3.5, probably at the lower end of that. Wow. I still don't know what to make of it, to tell you the truth. It's different. Even if it sounds kind of silly, but usually, the head of the beer is the head of the beer. There's nothing different about it, but this one actually seems foamier than usual. It's almost like little icebergs of foam in the beer. Doesn't really affect the flavor, but it's different. Honestly, I think I'm going to stick with a 3.0. I was going to go with the 2.5. With, once again, a 2 is I'm not a big fan, but I'll finish it. And a 3 being it's a good beer. I don't think it's fair to give it a 2.5 because I'm obviously going to finish it quite easily. I am enjoying it. It's kind of got me a little bit perplexed. So it's definitely an okay beer. I'm enjoying it for the most part. It's just got me a little bit perplexed. So with that being said, I think I'm going to stick with my 3.0. So for the Prince Eddie's Brewing Company's Amuse Bouche They say a saison DH. I'm not even sure what DH stands for. Pleasant Valley Cascades 3.0. So there you go, folks. Hopefully you can join me another day or so. We'll have another beer and we'll go from there. Till next brew, as always, enjoy responsibly. Cheers.